I have a series called Dating in Atlanta, and the series is about black men's frustration in dating in this great city of the South. And it's not because the people in Atlanta are bad people. In fact, some of our most talented people in our community come from the city of Atlanta. But I think what's happening with a lot of black men are the issues that surrounds the bureaucracy and some of the politics that surround the black community in the city of Atlanta, especially when it's towards, I would say, these two communities. Number one, the black church. Two, the LGBTQ community. And both of these, historically, at least in the last 30 years, have been huge in Atlanta, especially the black church. But also Atlanta is very liberal when it comes to this whole idea of homosexuality, bisexuality. And now you've seen this permeate into the church. In fact, where you have now gay churches in the city of Atlanta, from what I've been told. And some of those churches have first ladies and first wives. That means like two women are married and they run a church, or first husbands and a pastor. And for a lot of people that grown up in the church, in like myself, it's something that's a little bit that's something that, again, that's unorthodox for me. All right, you guys get what I'm trying to say. But for pastors like T.D. Jakes out of the Potter's House in Dallas, and now you have Jamal Harrison Bryant, who was educated at Morehouse College and who has been a pastor back at, I believe, is it New Birth Baptist Church now? Yeah, New Birth. He has offered an apology to the gays in the black church. I want to play this particular clip, and then I'm going to come back.
I came tonight really. I've ministered with Minister Farrakhan. I've gone to India, met with Buddhists. I have sat in council with Jewish leaders, and never have I had the backlash of accepting a conversation with you. Because so much of the black church is homo-spiritual.
Wow.
They only love what's like them.
Oh, come on in here.
It is not that they can exercise that level of compassion. Two of my spiritual sons are sitting in this conference. I raised in Baltimore, and 3 services at our church in Baltimore on Sunday. I go to the back door of the service and shake hands as my members are leaving out. And while they were leaving out, a young man, I hugged him, embraced him, and as I said to all of my members on their way out, love you, see you next week. And the young man stopped and said, you don't love me. I'm gay. And it convicted me in that moment that I have done more harm, that he felt unloved by somebody who should have been promoting the love of Christ. And the belligerent, flagrant homophobia that the black church exercises really is.
So let me say this. For those of us who have grown up in black America, I would say this. Yes, we have seen some discrimination between people or against people in the black church. The same thing we've seen for people who dress a certain way and all of that. And I never have thought that the black church was a place that necessarily hated gays or homosexuals. And the reason for that is because they've always been there. From Reverend James Cleveland, allegedly Reverend Charles Nix, at St. James Baptist Church in Detroit. Richard Smallwood in DC. We know that these people are gay, right? There's another brother, King Narciss out of New Orleans that was all in Oakland and Sacramento, California. Everybody knows that these people have been gay for a long time in the black church. What we've had is a don't ask, don't tell policy. That's what we've had. But have they been treated bad? Have they been maybe talked down to? Yes, I can see that, because like I said, that's still wrong. You can hate the sin, but not hate the sinner. Okay. But imagine Jamal Harrison Bryant going to a lot of people that's, let's say, backbiters. And it appears that this church is a gay church he's going to. Okay. So let's say, for an example, you want to go to a church of liars. The Bible says, thou shalt not lie. You go to a church. The church is called St. Lai Baptist Church. Imagine that. That's what the church is called. St. Lai Baptist Church. You go to St. Lai Baptist Church and you tell the pastor of St. Lai Baptist Church, I want to apologize, and according to the black church, for how we've treated you because you're lying. But we all know what the Bible says about homosexuality. We know what it says. The Bible is very clear as to what it says about homosexuality. It is also clear what it says about adultery. It is also clear what it says about lying, what it says about stealing, bearing false witness. Those are rules. And you see these guys in the background shouting. And let me tell you this, if that is the case, Dr. Jamal Harrison Bryant, because we know what you're trying to say, you will never condemn any of those things. Which, if that's the case, fine. But if you don't condemn that, don't condemn nothing else. And that is the problem. Imagine, and this is why I'm telling you, the Arab world. Imagine going to Oman. Imagine going to any place in the Arab world and showing up to a mosque, and we can never even fathom in our mind that there is a mosque for LGBTQ. We could never fathom that. And imagine somebody, the equivalent of a priest or Muslim leader, a cleric, saying, you know what, we apologize for, how we treated you in the LGBTQ. Imagine that. And I believe that the reason why Jamal Harrison Bryant is doing it is, number one, he got to stay in business. Jamal Harrison Bryant is a clown. Okay. And one of the reasons why, and in my honest opinion, he's trying to use the gay community. This is what he's trying to do. He needs to be able to say this so whenever you catch him sleeping with somebody else's wife, whenever you see him lying, whenever you see him cheating, whenever you see him fathering kids out of wedlock, look, okay, well, I don't want you to say nothing about what I'm doing, because you know what? Hey, I'm okay with what you're doing. Now we're talking about the business of pastoralship, the business of lying, the business of cheating. That's what we're talking about now. That's the case. We're talking about that and that alone. And once we go there, it ain't no coming back from that. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of black men in cities like Atlanta, who are they dealing with? They're dealing with ladies who go to churches like this. Imagine this is your pastor and you are a black man that like rules. Let me tell you this, right? We might come up in a very liberal world, but black men, we like rules. We're going to just be real. We like order. And you go to a pastor who don't got no order, ain't no rules, ain't no real sins being addressed. So as a black man, you got a hard time trying to tell this woman about anything. How can she tell you when you don't have no rules? You can't teach your woman anything. You can't. It's impossible. to teach your woman anything when there are no rules of engagement. The reason why Black America is where it's at, there are no rules of engagement, family. I'm sorry. What does the book say about it? If the book says thou shalt not steal, that's what it means. If it says thou shalt not lie, that's what it means. You cannot change this because you as a pastor want to use this group to hide your own transgressions. That's the only reason why you're there, and you feel like they got money. Yeah, that's the only reason why you're doing it. And this is one of the reasons why Black men cannot date in Atlanta. Because these women that go to these churches are being brainwashed by these losers in the church. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Subscribe to the bell. We're out.